Hi guys, welcome back to another book review here on my channel. Now, as you may have seen from a couple of videos back, I am making my way through the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver, and I fully completed the series. Now I'm coming on here with my reviews of each of the books. They will each get their own separate video. You've already seen the first book's review, which is Wild Love. Now we are doing Wild Eyes. Now, when I first bought this series, I got it confused with her Chestnut Spring series, and I thought this was her cowboy romance series, but this is actually just her Canadian small town romance series. Now, it is the first time this year that I have read a contemporary romance that is not cowboy or hockey romance. I typically read those because, again, I love this cowboy romance, but I really enjoyed it so much. I have read contemporary romance last year, and then I got really into hockey romance, and I made that like the only type of romance I was reading. And then I discovered cowboy romance, and I made that the only type of romance I was reading was cowboy and hockey. After reading this, I'm like, okay, I need to branch out. I can't like stay in my comfort subgenres. I need to like expand. I am still focusing on interconnected standalone because I like to know that if you like one book, you got like 3 to 5 other books that you can read. So this series has 4, so that's what I like. But if you have other recommendations for a great contemporary interconnected standalone series, you can leave those in the comments down below. Now, the minute I finished this book, I had a feeling it was going to be my favorite in the series, and I still stand by that. So I give this one a solid 5 stars. Some of the major tropes in this one are obviously small town romance, grumpy meets sunshine, and also you have the single father trope in this one. So this one follows Skylar Stone and Weston Belmont, who we meet in the first book, because the first book follows his sister Rosie Belmont and his best friend Ford, their love story. So Weston Belmont is a single father to 2 kids, and then Skylar Stone is a country singer. So I'm going to talk about Skylar Stone a bit first. So Skylar Stone is from, I think she has a place in California, in Nashville, but she's mainly from California. And her basically entire career and her image has been heavily crafted since she was a child from her father and her mother. Her father acts as her manager. She also has an agent who is like not blood related to her, but still works with her father to heavily control her image. And she actually learned that the guy she was dating was just paid to date her by her father. And once her father stopped paying the guy, he was like, sorry, gotta break up with you, your father's no longer paying me. And she was like, what? And so she decided she wants to escape from all of that, and she wants to do music on her own terms. So she heard about Ford and the fact that he is creating his own recording studio. So she just showed up early on his door unexpected, and he's like, oh, whoa, sorry, like I don't actually have the cabin already yet for you to stay in. And so she ends so Rosie Belmont ends up saying, well, why don't you stay at the bunkhouse on my brother's property? And so she goes, and then she meets Rosie's brother, and it turns out she already met him. She met him when she parked her Tesla on the side of the road on her way to Rose Hill, got out of it, and decided she wanted to try to take photos with bears. And Weston Belmont drove by, and he was like, these tourists trying to take photos with bears, so unsafe. And that's sort of like their meet cute and how they meet, and he like protects her and saves her from like potentially being attacked by a bear, and says, I don't recognize. She's like, but it's so cute. And it's like, she's like, it's even cuter because there's like babies. He's like, that actually makes it worse that there's babies. That means the mother will be super protective. So I just like how the relationship develops throughout. Obviously, with most romance books, there's a will they or won't they. And this one does have actually a small, short third act breakup. It's not very long, but it is still there. So if you are somebody who needs a little bit of warning about a third act breakup, there is one in here. Again, it's not super long, so some of you may not actually call it a third act breakup, but it's still very much there. There was a super funny scene, and it's one of those moments when I like when they make like another person jealous. So it was basically Weston had agreed previously, before he met Rosie, to partake in a charity auction at like the fair, the local fair in the town. And it's an auction where there's like a bunch of guys who are auctioned off for dates. And about 4 days actually after he met Skylar Stone, he was like, Skylar Stone is actually an artist that he was a huge fan of, so he kind of like was her number one fan. Never really told her that because he's like, I feel like she doesn't need to know that with everything going on right now in her life. But about 4 days after meeting her, he had told a girl that he had a friend with benefits relationship with, like, hey, I want to break this off. So that's what happened. And that girl ends up at this fair bidding on Weston because she still feels like she loves him and wants to be with him. So she keeps bidding and bidding, and then eventually gets up to $1,000. And then it's like and then the auctioneer goes 1,001, 1,001, going once, and then Skylar Stone she's like $10,000, and that's like the highest ever bid. And then there's a part where it's mentioned in there that the girl, I think her name is Bree, glares at Skylar and is like very upset. And I'm like, ah, I love that. I love that. That was something that I liked a lot when the other girl got like jealous, but she wasn't really the other girl, but I guess. I also love single parent trope. I like tend to be like I like both single mother and single father, but sometimes a single father hits really good. Just seeing how well they connect with their children, and that was really relevant so much in this story. Again, the way their relationship developed was so beautiful, and the way they like came back to each other after that third act breakup, again, so beautiful. So I highly recommend this book. I gave it a solid 5 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you're unsure about starting the Rose Hill series, I enjoyed every book. Some obviously more than others, but again, I still enjoyed every book. There was no book that I gave below 4.5 star rating. So again, every book I enjoyed. Now, that is all for this video. If you want to see more videos from me, you can hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss another brand new video from me. You can follow me at RomanceBLVD, which means Romance Boulevard, on Instagram and Threads, and you can follow at Romance Boulevard, all spelled out, on TikTok. I'm trying to get back to posting content 7 days a week. I'm usually posting anywhere between like 5 to 7 days a week, but I'm really going to try to get back to 7 days a week. So if you want content daily from me, you can follow me on all the other platforms, and then on this platform, it will be 3 days a week like usual. Till the next one, bye!